Hey, how you doing? Welcome. What's up, dude?
You and Simo are like, you have so much energies in your like introductions. It's so funny to me. I feel like every time I do these videos, I just get right into it. Like I don't have like a screaming of like, here's the thing, this is what we're doing. You guys are like, all right, let's get loud.
Today, you're going to try to figure out whether or not the cards I show you got banned in standard in this year, 2025. That's what we're doing. Okay. That's the game. Okay. And I'm going to tell you right now, near record number of standard bans in this very year.
You want to tell me how many bans?
Magic the Gathering. If I tell you that many, you're going to be counting this whole video. And you're gonna get like, because there's some sneaky ones in here.
Could you give me like ones in here? Could you give me like a more or less than 10?
Less than 20.
Okay, that's great. Okay, that actually opens up quite a bit.
Yep, less than 20. And I'm just gonna throw cards at you, and we're gonna see if they got banned. Now we've talked a lot during the year, so I'm sure we've talked about some of these cards and their ban announcements. But feel free to forget all about it. And there's enough. I feel there's enough. Show you Vivi? Why? Do you think that Vivi got banned? Sure. Let's start there. Easy mode. Here's Vivi. Yeah, read the card. Read it.
Why can't I just say it's banned?
Yes, you can. You can say it's banned all you got, but you still got to do your part. You have to do your part in the video. An alien might have just landed on Earth, interested in this Magic the Gathering thing we've got going on, and they need to know what Vivi does.
Give me 1 second. I want to see how much Vivi's worth nowadays after the ban. I actually didn't take a peek.
I've got 2 nickels.
Ooh.
What?
He dropped.
As an owner of VV cards, I felt it. I felt a great disturbance in the force.
He's still worth
millions of my dollars cried out all at once.
He's still worth a decent amount of money, like comparatively to other Magic cards. Obviously, it's not the exact same, but
what is it, like $33, something like that?
It's $20.
$20. I think this was an $80 card when it came out.
That might be Canadian dollars. I'm actually not 100% sure.
That's probably it.
Maybe it's even worse. I mean, but most Magic cards are worth like a cent, so it's like, yeah.
I mean, who would pay $20 for a banned card? So obviously this card's fine.
So true, so true. As he says, when it first came out, it was worth $80. All right, Vivi is a 1 neutral, 1 blue, and 1 red mana. For 0 mana, you can add X mana on any combination of blue and or red, where X is Vivi's power. Activate only during your turn and only once each turn. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Vivi, and it deals 1 damage to each opponent. He's also a 0/3, which is completely irrelevant here. I mean, I guess the 3 health is very irrelevant here, or relevant. We talked about this card. I remember when you showed me this card, and I believe if you take the clip, I said this card looks absolutely disgusting. Yeah, it ended up being, as far as I'm aware, the most dominant card in the entire game of 2025.
Yeah, that is what happened. Yes, so, this card ruined the standard format for about 7 months or something like that.
So yeah, if I have to go to a limb here, and if I think about all the other videos we've done this year, I believe one of the first questions I always ask you is, did Vivi get banned yet?
I think that was our opening line for a while. It's true. So, and you didn't even play the format while this card was doing its thing, right?
I did do a video where I tried like the most expensive deck to the cheapest deck, whatever. So I did end up playing it. And even through like barely understanding how the deck operates, like you could see almost immediately how strong this card is, or was, I should say, because this card is banned.
So you crafted this card. It's like you got your wild card refund.
I'm sure I don't know if I've opened Magic since the ban.
Okay, so sounds about right.
So yeah.
Do you know what card got VV banned? Like the synergy Cauldron? That did the damage. Yeah, the Cauldron. Yeah.
Was Cauldron also banned?
Ooh, I think it was. Good question.
I think it was, right?
Was Cauldron also banned? Maybe we'll have to save that part for later in the video. Okay. But VV Tier ruined standard for a good chunk of the year. There was a record-setting standard announcement with 7 cards banned. That happened in June when VV was legal and in the format, and somehow dodged all of it, and then went on to basically take over the format because all the other good stuff was banned. Wow, nice one.
Wow.
They moved the ban window that was supposed to be on November 24th up to November 10th, just so that Avatar wouldn't have to even tread the same earth as Vivi. So it wouldn't have to breathe the same air as Vivi. And it actually was a good call, because the World Championships featured a lot of Avatar cards, a lot of them.
That's good.
It's very exciting.
Wait, was it a nice diversity for Worlds?
Kinda.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Maybe we'll cover that in the future. That would be nice. You were on vacation. I really did want to show you
I'm sorry.
stuff.
I'm so sorry. I thought about
you shouldn't. You shouldn't have been on vacation. What were you doing? So yes, you win. Vivi is banned, but there's a lot more bans in 2025. What do you think of this card?
Okay, I obviously know what this card is because I played with it when I got Mythic last year.
Yeah.
So Heartfire Hero.
Yeah. You played against it or you played with it?
I played with it. I tried mono red for a little bit there.
Oh my god.
I had to get the full experience. Remember you came to coach me and then it was fun. And then I didn't use that deck to actually hit Mythic. I did it with the bunnies. I forget what.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
I recommended the bunnies. Why'd you play the mice?
Well, you need the full. Well, I didn't play the mice for that long. I don't remember. It's actually been a year, by the way, since I've done that.
Okay.
Which is crazy. Okay. Heartfire. You know what I'm doing now? Side tangent. I'm trying to see how far I can get in chess in 24 hours. Chess is so difficult. Oh my god. Anyways.
Mono red won't prepare you for that, buddy.
Like it. Okay, Heartfire Hero, 1 red.
Here comes the pawn. Let's go.
Creature. Okay. Whenever Heartfire Hero becomes the target of a spell or ability you control for the first time, each turn put a +1/+1 counter on it. When this dies, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. Okay, this card was really good. It was really good with a buff. I know Monstrous Rage was banned, and that card was really good with this. Would they ban this? Okay, so this card is like, I want to say this was banned, but I can't. I know I'm not 100% confident in that. This card is good
sure
for a 1-drop.
You're sure Monstrous Rage was banned, you said?
I'm absolutely sure Monstrous Rage was banned. Because I remember the conversation we had with it where you were like so stoked that they finally banned the card.
Fine, we'll check it off. I'll check it off the list.
You just thought I didn't remember about Monstrous Rage?
I want you to forget. It can be fun. It's content.
Surprise. Let me cut this part of the video out. Oh my god, what's this card? Monstrous Rage? 1 red? Target creature gets +2/+0 till the end of turn.
Your memory is doing so much better than Simo's at this point.
Oh, did he not remember this?
I honestly can't remember what I showed him as part of the fun of this video.
Oh, okay. I firsthand had to deal with Monstrous Rage during like last year because it was in the standard format, and then I remember you telling me every time we did videos where it's like mono red's the worst experience in the world and Monstrous Rage is severely broken, so when they banned it you were celebrating.
Yes, so I still am.
That's why I was like, and then I remember you saying like after it was nerfed it was like okay, but then VV came out and then it was like, you know, it's just a different evil at that point. So anyways, yeah, we know that Monstrous Rage is banned. I could act surprised. I can continue the bit if you want me to. I don't know if you want me to.
No. In fact, I don't even think, knowing Libby, she's not even going to cut it. She's off doing something else, aren't you?
Libby actually doesn't even edit the videos. She just puts them on the same timeline.
Yep. She's off playing some other video game, I'm sure.
Yeah, I do that when I gotta like edit a video on my own. I have literally like a game on the side monitor that I'm like doing in between. All right,
we know you. We see you out there.
Heartfire Hero. Okay, Heartfire Hero is, I'm trying to think again. Hearthstone is a 1-drop. If I buff it once, it's already disgusting. So in Magic, it's fine. It's probably worse in Magic than it is in Hearthstone, especially if I'm going first in Hearthstone. It's so gross, but it's still really broken. I feel like this is the type of card that really like pushes how strong mono red could be. I'm like pretty confident they ban this if you're showing this to me. I'm gonna take the risk here. I do think this card was banned.
Would it have been banned in Hearthstone or nerfed or adjusted or anything?
I think it would have had to be nerfed. They can't leave this at 1 mana. They would have to put it to 2. Even at, like, honestly, a card effect like this is actually extremely spooky. But in an aggro deck in particular, it's even worse because you're double downing on how powerful your minions are. So it's like a double-edged sword. The best example I can give you is like Leper Gnome. Like Leprechaun was 1 mana 2/1 death rattle, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. So it puts you in this weird spot where it's like, if I kill it, I'm still taking the 2 damage, but if I don't kill it, I'm taking the 2 damage. This is the same thing, but it grows. And Leprechaun was like played in every aggro deck. So
wow, yeah, okay, so maybe they pushed the Heartfire hero a bit much. Enough to ban it. Yeah, they banned it. They banned Heartfire hero at the same time as Monstrous Rage. Yep. Okay. They both got the axe. They were really trying to take the wheels out from under Mono Red. Do you think that made Mono Red no longer one of the best 1 or 2 decks in the game?
Are you saying with combination with Monstrous Rage, or were they?
Yeah. Both of those were banned at the same time.
Oh, were they? Okay. A pretty big blow. I'm trying to think what else was in it. There was the no. Hold on. There was the card from Duskmourn. What was that card called? It was like 3 mana, I want to say. Maybe it was 2.
Yeah, what did it do?
I don't remember. Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna show it to me.
Good.
I'm sure you're gonna show it to me.
Well, just yeah. Maybe
I want to say it was definitely impacted, but it was probably still really good. I don't know about top 2 decks though, because I'm trying to think about what I'm actually trying to remember what you said to me before, and I think the other deck was like the Otter one, and then of course VV was VV in the game when this was banned. Is that what I?
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, only for like a month, but yeah.
That means VV at that time was then already really, really strong after this nerf, after this ban. So VV would have been the top deck. So there has to be one other deck that would have been better than this, and I'm not sure if there was anything that competes. I would say probably it was still probably really good. Mono Red just seems like it would live forever.
Frickin' Mono Red propagandists at Wizards of the Coast in the game design department just want Mono Red to always live forever. Yes, that is their on-ramp for Magic the Gathering players. Just give them a Mono Red deck and send them off to battle.
I can't remember how what the free-to-play experience was in Magic, but in Hearthstone's done a really good job recently of like, you basically get like a meta deck for free. Like, and you get to pick which one you want. So if you have a particular play style, it helps a lot for diversity reasons. So interesting that they just default to.
Yeah, they just want to funnel everybody in to get them dead fast, easy. Can we get a turn 2, turn 3 win?
That's not like that's not even like the best part about Magic, right? Like most people would say
it's the worst. It's the worst part about Magic. The part where you don't even get to make a meaningful play in a game and it's just over. Yeah. That's what we encourage. That's what we encourage. Anyway, don't get me started. But let's show some cards of a different color, just for the sake of diversity. Not everything here has to be red. We can also have blue.
Okay, you say so. Hey, I made a meme on this card with you, I think, or I called it like stock instead of stock. You remember that?
Stock goes up. Yeah, sure. Stock up. I don't know.
Stock up is 2. No, remember when I did like the Magic video with you, and then I spelled it STALK, I think.
Yeah. Stalk.
Wait, was it how did I don't remember. I know I did a meme on this card. Okay, stock up 2 neutral, 1 blue. The sorcery, look at the top 5 cards of your library, put 2 of them in your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. I actually did like a video, or a short I should say, which was how good is drawing 3 cards in every single card game. Magic the Gathering seems to be around 2 to 3 manas where like drawing 2 cards is good. I can't think of any other, like there might be some better examples of this, but kind of follows the same thing of Hearthstone, where obviously in Yu-Gi-Oh, like if you get to draw 2 cards for free, it's like the most broken thing in the world. So comparatively to like other cards that exist for drawing, why would they ban this? This is a sorcery, which means like obviously your opponent gets to react to it if you're casting it. It's also like I guess you get to see 5 cards, which is like really strong. So you're not just drawing 2 cards, you get to see 5 and then pick the 2 best that you need in the particular context of the game. Do they really ban this? Like, there's no way. Why would they ban this? What would blue be doing?
Why would they ban this?
So I guess this pushes glasses up. One of the nice things about chess that I've grown to really like is that there's no variance, right? The only thing that matters is that your play versus your opponent's play. And there's that particular charm with that. With card games, you have to find consistency, and consistency is like the best that you could be doing in almost every card game. So I guess if you're seeing 5 cards out of your bigger deck in Magic compared to Hearthstone, this is like a very, very insane thing to do. but I don't think it's enough to get it banned. Like, can I ask you a question? What is, do they have like a direct like quote or something why something gets banned? Like obviously Monstrous Rage is like, it just creates really unfair board presence in the early game and they just win because they just get over the top damage. But like, is there like a generic line they look at and to go like, this is bannable? You know what I mean?
So they make their banned and restricted announcements, and in each of them they write little paragraphs about why a card got banned. So, the reasons are out there.
They do give you reasons, but there's not like, let's say they're doing like, they're announcing their next ban list or whatever. There's not like a threshold you can think of that would make you think that like stock up would be banned. Does that make sense? Like if I'm thinking like if a card's getting nerfed, it's because it's like a 60% win rate or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Usually meta share has a lot to do with it. So especially they seem to dial in when it comes to online play, meta share is incredibly warped because it's about the same price to craft any deck for the most part.
Okay.
Some will have more mythics and some won't. But like if you do a small online invitational tournament or a qualified tournament where people had to win a pre-qualifier for it, like you might see win like rates of like 40 to 60% of the best deck. In paper, you see a much wider distribution because card availability and individual card prices fluctuate so hard. So like a 20% meta share for a standard deck in standard isn't wild and wouldn't necessarily put it on ban watch. So they put a lot of emphasis on conversion rate. So if VV's deck is, for example, only 20% of the day one metagame, the players who start with playing VV, 20% of them, but it is 42% of the day two metagame, that means it converted at a much higher rate than the rest of the field. It destroyed the rest of the field, and the people who spent their money on and time investing in VV did so much better than everybody else. And then if you get to the top 8 and it's 6 out of the 8 top 8 decks, then people are like, well, that's obviously going to get banned. Like that. Okay. Those are the kind of red flags that you see in paper Magic.
But that's interesting because like I feel like stock up is one of those cards that's not apparently like broken. Like it's obviously a symptom of like finding particular things, but I wouldn't put it out there and be like, holy shit, like this is like the best card in the deck. So it's weird that this would be on the list if it was banned. My instinct is to say no. I'm really trying to think about why you would show me this. I think the only reason it comes to it would be banned is like they really don't want that level of consistency in Magic. This is too much consistency looking at 5 cards and then drawing 2 from them. So for that reason, I can see it being banned, but I don't think it's banned. I think it's a good card.
Not banned? Okay.
Not banned.
It is not banned.
Oh,
it is. Yeah, nice job. It was one of the standout cards of the year. And for a decent period of time, stock up was in every blue deck. Like the philosophy was literally just put stock up in everything, even when it didn't seem to match the theme of like Dimir tempo decks and various other blue decks. It was in every kind of combo deck, every control deck, because the rate is absurd. For the longest time, 3 mana to draw 2 cards is the rate. It is what you are used to in Magic. If you can do 2 mana to draw 2 cards, you cheated it in some way. You met some kind of a special requirement. Okay. And they even printed 3 mana draw 2 at instant speed called Quick Study that barely even saw play because the format was so fast. But stock up changed the game. When somebody can cast stock up, it usually meant their turn 4 play was going to be amazing. Weirdly though, standard, sometimes you cast stock up and just died. You never got to untap with those beautifully selected cards because the meta got so insane. So I think that even though stock up was in everything, I think the idea that if you went second, you could still just stock up and lose kept the card in check. Yeah, it was really wild that you would stock up and get VV and your other combo piece to go with VV, and that was fine. It was great. Anyway, we're all fine.
By the way, in Hearthstone, this card would be nerfed. I'm pretty confident it would be.
Oh, I can't believe it's legal now in Magic. It does feel like you can't run other cards very often. So it's wild.
I was actually, I actually just finished writing a video called "What game has the best mana system?" And I think it's interesting in Magic how cards themselves are their power level is directly related to you drawing lands and the correct lands. But in this card, it's like 2 neutral mana. They could have made it maybe 3 blue, and then it makes a little bit more sense. why this is so strong. Like it's this obviously is a heavily pushed card. And then obviously in Hearthstone, because you don't have to consider about the colored lands, like at 3 mana, this is disgusting. You just consistently get to play it. It's also like this is a good example of a card of like that's just good at any point in the game. Sometimes you just need to find the right card, right? And this is a huge example of like getting it. This is a good card.
The number of times I've cast stock up and picked 2 lands, like to get my mana right for the next 2 turns, very high. Like absurdly high how often I just grab lands with my stock up just to make sure that I can play the rest of my cards on time. It does that and more. It's such a beast.
I wish I actually, in hindsight, I wish I like talked to you more about lands in general, because it's such an interesting mana system when it comes to how they design cards. Like the fact is like there is one of the, you know me, I'm a regular land hater. Like I don't like the mechanic in general.
Yes, I was gonna ask I don't want to spoil your video. I want to know.
I'm not spoiling it, but I had to realize
that Magic has the best mana system yet.
No, I don't think it has the best mana system. But I will say this. I think Magic's land system, which is something I maybe didn't really see the perspective of, is that there's so much design space when it comes to it. And that design space not only leads into what lands they can make and how they make or how they create like new and exciting mechanics with lands, but it leads into the actual like mana system itself on each individual card. And that leads to more design space, because then they can ask themselves, should it be 2 blue or 1 neutral? Should it be 3 blue? Whatever. Like in Hearthstone, the thing is like there's no design space there. Like it's like that card's 3 mana. That's it. But you have that ability to like be like, you need this particular requirement for the cards. It allows the balancing to be a lot more interesting, which is a shame that they only ban cards and not nerf cards. I understand that it's a paper card game. They can't just do that. But like, if they really felt like VV was such an issue, rather than banning it, they could just be like, okay, rather than, what was this mana cost? Rather than having like a neutral mana, you need to get like a green or some shit to make this effect like actually like more balanced. Anyways, that's my rant on the creativity and the design space of Magic the Gathering lands.
Yeah, I think that's a great segue into our next card, which is clearly all about the mana system in Magic the Gathering.
Really? Oh, it is. Okay. Wait, why do you say that? Because it's 7 mana and 3 blue?
Keep going.
Oh my god. Omniscience. I can't say this word properly. Omniscience. That sounds good enough. What is this?
What is this? You don't know this one, huh? Oh, nice.
The art of this is insane. Okay, I actually don't know what this card is. 7 neutral, 3 blue. It's an enchantment. You may cast spells from your hand without paying their mana cost. What the fuck? Can you? Okay, first and foremost, this card's awful. But
awful.
Can you cheat it out? that's the asterisk there. You're not playing this card. There's no way you're playing this card for 10 mana. It's illegal. You're not winning. Like if you got to play this card for 10 mana, you probably already won the game. So then it comes down to, can you cheat it?
Can you? So that's you're asking me, can you cheat this card?
Can you cheat this card?
It's a card game, Rarran. All we do is try to find ways to cheat these cards.
Yeah, well, so trying is different. Like you could try.
Are there means to cheat it in standard? Yes. There have been various means to cheat it out in standard throughout the year. Different ones.
Can I ask you for how much mana average you could cheat it out for?
4.
Okay, so we've had this conversation. I've had this conversation probably with you, but I've had it with Simo quite a bit with like special summoning and all this nonsense. When I'm sure you've done the same like mental gymnastics in your head when he asks you like, is this card banned or whatever? Like, is the card itself a problem? Maybe. Like, I guess maybe it limits design space slightly, but also like they're designing this card in mind that it's going to be spent for 10 mana and that you're not going to be able to abuse an effect like this. Because the dream of playing this card from a card game perspective is awesome. Like if I'm like, I want to play and cast all my shit for free and draw infinite cards. Cause I guess when this card comes out, anything you draw is also free, which is kind of fun. So like it's such a unique and fun like dream for my deck. But the dream is surviving for that long and then also having the resources to play with it, if we're talking just from a balancing perspective. So then it comes down to, if I could cheat it out, is it really the card that has the ability to, break the game, or is it the thing that's cheating it out? And often it comes down to the second thing, because I would believe that Magic the Gathering would see this card and be like, this isn't a problem. It's the card that's cheating it out is the problem. So I don't think they banned it. Or they would ban the thing that's causing it to be broken.
You wouldn't ban everything's free for 4 mana.
No, but it's not. The card isn't 4 mana. It's the thing that's cheating it out is the problem.
Okay. All right. Yeah, they didn't ban Omniscience.
Okay, yeah, like
Still
what the fuck are you talking about?
I like to throw you.
That's fair.
Here. I'm pretty sure everything I've done with Omniscience on my channel has been to CMO because it's like the Yu-Gi-Oh thing. It turns magic into Yu-Gi-Oh. So how can I resist that? It's kind of.
So I will say this. Hearthstone recently released a card. I don't know if I've shown it to you. It's Aviana something. And what the card says is after 3 turns, all your cards cost 1. And
what?
That card's 9 mana. So you have to play it for 9 mana. You have to play it for 9. Yeah. So you have to play for 9 mana. And then after it's done, like the 3 turns is done, you're like, oh my God, like now I get to play the game and have a fun time. But that card sucks. It's like there's no way to cheat it.
Hearthstone makes you work so hard, dude. I had to survive 10 turns to shuffle a Time Warp into my deck and then hope to draw it. Like, dude, Hearthstone makes you work so hard.
Hearthstone, listen, Hearthstone has a good cadence of understanding. Well, I should say they try to have a good cadence of understanding when something is going to be apparently broken. They try to limit that as much as they possibly can. Because they still want to design cards. What's the name? Like the dream, like Timmy? Is it Timmy? I can't remember what it is. It's like
Timmy is the dreamer, the one who wants to do the big thing. Yeah.
They probably knew going into it that Aviana was not going to be a playable card, but they print those cards for the people who are down in silver that just want to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So this is almost the same thing. This card was actually like good in standard.
This card is still getting played in standard.
Oh, really? Okay, that's awesome. That's kind of sick.
Yes. In fact, at one point, it was the second most played deck. So it's been a year of blue and red decks. Nearly the whole year has been dominated by Izzet. But at one point, Omniscience was the second most played deck.
Here's a question. Why don't they, in Commander, everyone just puts this card in their deck and only runs a blue mana, and then they just play everything for free?
I mean, I've had this out in Commander several times. Simo had this out on our show in Commander.
Oh, did it? Oh, go on. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. You just get this in, you just win.
Yep, that's the idea. That is Commander. That is how you do it. Yeah, Omniscience is great in Commander. Wonderful card. Wonderful card. Let's look at some more standard cards though. Why are they all the same color though? This is kind of wild.
Blue and what, red?
What the hell?
Prof's Eidetic Memory. Profs? Is that the guy's name?
Profs? Yeah, his name is like Alquist Proft, and he's supposed to be their like Daniel Craig Knives Out character, their leading detective guy.
Oh, is he from that set? Is that why? Okay.
Oh, he's from Murders at Whatever Manor.
Okay. All right, 1 neutral, 1 blue. When this enters the battlefield, you draw a card. Okay, that's already good for 2 mana. You have no maximum hand. Wait, this is a legendary enchantment. It's not even a minion. My bad.
Yeah.
You have no maximum hand size at the beginning of a combat on your turn. If you've drawn more than 1 card this turn, put X plus 1/+1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn -1. What a weird card. So no maximum hand size in standard. By the way, when you ask me it's banned, are you going to be like, well, it's not banned in standard, but it's banned in this format?
No, okay. We're only talking about standard.
Yeah,
this is standard's year in review because standard makes the most use of the new cards from the new set, and that's what we're here to yap about.
You've drawn more than 1 card this turn. Put X plus 1/+1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn -1. So if this card's dropped on turn 2, that's kind of spicy. But you need to draw more than 1 card a turn for this to do anything. Am I missing something?
Yeah.
Here?
No, you're right.
How likely? So you just told me stock up for 3. That requires me to have another creature on board for this to even get a benefit.
It also doesn't stock up, to be clear, doesn't draw cards. It puts them into your hand. Very different.
Okay.
But 3 mana draw 2 is a rate that
okay, so hold on. I think I cracked the code here. Was this with Vivi? Is that why? Like you play
what does this do with Vivi, Rarran? What could happen?
Like Vivi, you get mana. You also have Cauldron, so you have a ton of mana to draw more cards, and this just buffs your VV even more, and therefore you get to play more cards. That's like the only thing I could think of here. Why would this be banned? In Hearthstone, how would this work? 2 mana spell, draw a card. If you've drawn more than one card a turn, you can add +1/+1 to a minion, if not more. And you have no maximum hand size. Maximum hand size in Hearthstone is like kind of relevant, but I wouldn't say that's like a reason to play this. And I think it's almost maybe the same thing in Magic, but Magic, you have infinite hand size until the end of the turn anyways, right?
Right.
I mean, unless this interacts with like something like VV, I don't think it's banned. I don't see it. I don't have the vision, fortunately. Is it banned?
Okay. Prosthetic Memory got banned along with VV. Yep, in the same ban announcement.
Wait,
yeah.
what was this banned because of VV though, or was there another interaction?
So Prosthetic Memory was a solid card in the VV deck, but the thing about Prosthetic Memory, it is good with VV. Yes, the interaction is very, very nice. The fear that they had was that banning VV would leave the deck almost exactly as it was, with now Eidetic Memory being the primary win con. Because what Eidetic Memory actually did very well was it was surrounded by a bunch of cards that would enter the battlefield and they would draw a card, but they'd also discard a card, or they would discard cards to draw cards. So these are creatures that are like mana neutral, but when they enter the battlefield, they do draw a card. Or not mana neutral, but card advantage neutral. You know what I mean? They're just sifting through cards. They're not coming out ahead. But then when you add in Eidetic Memory and you put +1/+1 counters on them, suddenly like this combines with a card called Tesa Light Shatter or something to be a 3 mana 5/5 haste that discards 2 cards and draws 2 cards.
Okay.
It's like pretty insane.
Oh,
so,
okay. Sure.
Yeah, this created the fair plan of the VV deck. If somebody did everything they could to stop the graveyard, cauldron, VV interaction from just comboing off and killing you, the Eidetic Memory plan of just play all these rummaging creatures and make them huge would still kill you. And there wasn't a profitable way to interact with it because it was only 2 mana and it already drew you a card, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to take a turn off to remove Eidetic Memory while they're beating you up with larger than average creatures that already have counters put on them? It was really hard to manage. So it turned out to be a much better rate than expected. And it led to a very interesting sentence in the ban article, which was that when Eidetic Memory came out in Murders of Karlov Manor, which was at the start of 2024, they tested it along with the cards in that set that interacted with it. And they were like, it's a good deck, but it's not a great deck. And they stopped testing it. Well, hello, surprise, over the next 2 years and 6 sets, 7 sets, something like that of standard, they printed a lot more creatures to draw cards. And a lot more things that interact with drawing cards. Why people love drawing cards? You have to have a card draw of some kind in every freaking set, right? So it just got more, it scaled and got more and more busted with every set of cards that got released, to the point that they decided to ban it. And it's really funny because now there are even more cards in the format that are busted, would have been busted with this card. Boomerang Basics for those out there keeping track. So yeah, they banned this. They were scared the VV-less Izzet deck would still be the best deck with this card.
Interesting. Okay. So that was like preemptively before going into Avatar. Okay.
Yep. They got rid of Eidetic Memory, which was, I wasn't sure they would. It was a tough one. It's a very strange card. Let's do, and it added to the roster of banned cards this year. Then we have this one. See if
they don't ever
you saw this one.
They don't ever unban something, right?
Maybe they have, but in standard, very rare because rotation is within the first 3 years, used to be 2 years. So they almost never had to unban things. I think they did it once. I remember them doing it once.
Okay. Up the Beanstalk, 1 neutral, 1 green. I remember this card. Enchantment. When Up the Beanstalk enters the battlefield, whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, draw a card. This card is awesome. Very playable. Very good with that. I think it was like Cornucopia. What was the other like thing with the deck that I was playing?
Oh yeah, I showed you the Abzan Up the
Beanstalk
Cornucopia.
That deck was fun.
Board wipe deck. Yeah.
That was very fun.
Love that deck.
Okay, in Hearthstone, this card would be 2 mana. Whenever you play a card that is 5 or more mana, draw a card. Would that be playable? Not horrible. I'm gonna call it amazing. Depending on the deck, you're at least drawing like 1 card more a turn, but in Hearthstone we don't really have that problem. So this is in a deck where you're looking for a more removal and or a bigger bombshell threat that you can keep going into. Why would they ban this? Stock Up, you talked about how they like it was just very consistent. I guess this brings consistency to your deck for 2 mana. But it's like this is such a if Gadsden Auctioneer was no, but Gadsden's better than this. Gadsden's better than this. Why would I play this? Sorry, I'm thinking on Hearthstone. Some people probably don't know what Gadsden does. It was a 5 mana 4/4 that you draw a card every time you cast a spell. Magic, obviously, that's broken.
Yep. Look up the Gadsden Auctioneer, Libby.
Libby, just cut it for the video. Save yourself from work.
Don't tell my editors
it's
to be
not like
lazier.
CTV's gonna remember this.
Hey, I work hard over here. The life of a content creator is difficult.
No, but they'll send you the video for review. You'd be like, yeah, that seems good. I don't think we're missing anything.
Doesn't sound like me at all. I'm full of caring.
Are you very thorough? Are you gonna remember this? Oh, now you're gonna remember it.
I'm impressively thorough. Damn it.
Okay. I believe you. I believe you. Okay, why would this be bad? Hold on. I'm trying to lock in here. 2 mana, draw a card for the rest of the game, as long as you play stuff that's worth 5 or more. In the right deck, this is very good. So what's the curve? You're going land something, land into this, land maybe ramping at some point so you can play this earlier, because this isn't in standard. This doesn't do anything until a certain threshold in the game. So in green, luckily for you, you can ramp and you could do better, but like you can get this faster. This was a good card, but bannable? Nah, I don't think it is. Like if Stock Up's not bannable, which I think is a better card than this, I don't think this is bannable.
All right,
I would be wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong. It's banned. They banned it. And why? They banned it in that largest ever standard ban announcement with 7 total cards. They said basically that it's boring.
What?
They were like, they said the Up the Beanstalk puzzle has been solved too many times and we don't see it adding much to the format anymore. I know. So there's a number of things that get their cost reduced based on various things, like the Overlords. I think you saw the Overlords. I think you played those decks. Wow, Up the Beanstalk in those is great. But Up the Beanstalk saw play with a bunch of other cards. I don't know if I ever showed you this one, but let me know. Like, hold on. Like here's a Beanstalk deck card.
They said boring?
Yeah, they didn't say that. Come on now.
Eddie Merc Crab. 5 neutral, 2 blue, flash. Spell costs 1 less to cast for each incident sorcery in your. I mean, that, like, again, that's the conversation of like, yes, that card's obviously very good with this, but like, that's kind of the fun of building decks, is finding interactions like this.
Well,
like,
apparently they got bored of that fun.
Who dictates this? Wizards? They're like
Wizards. Well, I mean, play rates and things like that. Here, this is part of it. This is an important part of it. The Overlord domain, like ramp deck featuring 4 copies of Up the Beanstalk, had at this point in the format placed well at every Pro Tour since like the card was printed. And the card had been banned in Modern because that deck was absolutely insane, because you have ways to play like 5 mana cards for free in Modern.
Okay.
But the exact quote is, the deck building puzzle of Up the Beanstalk has been solved so many times at this point that we expect it to be more monotonous than engaging, as more cost reduction cards may get released in future sets.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, it also says we've even felt some of these pains while developing cards and mechanics that have yet to be released. So they're trying to build a set 3 years away from Up the Beanstalk, because standard is huge, and they're building 6 or 7 sets a year. And they're like, there it is. And they're like, well, we have this card, and we think this card is sweet, and it costs 1 less to cast for each knickknack in your graveyard. And well, we can't print that. Obviously, it's good with Up the Beanstalk. And they're like, wait, Up the Beanstalk hasn't rotated by the time the set comes out? They're like, nope, still has 2 more years to go. Well, shit. So they banned it.
That sounds like a problem of making standard 3 years rather than 2 Wizards of the Coast.
Don't get me started. I just unplugged my headphones. I jumped out of my chair. Don't say anything I shouldn't hear.
I didn't say anything. You're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
That's funny. Well,
it comes back to that. Every day of my life comes back to that. 3 years standard. Oh my god. Well, and, yeah. Just tell me. You know what? Just tell me if this. Say something clever, or tell me if the next card was banned or not.
Okay. Hey, this is the card I was thinking about. That's the one from Dustworm.
That's the one. That's the one.
Screaming
good card.
Nemesis. 2 neutral, 1 red. Haste. Whenever Screaming Nemesis is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any other target. If a player is dealt damage this way, they can't gain life for the rest of the game. So, like, this is what we would call a severely overloaded card. And for what? Why would they print a 3-mana 3/3 that also does additional damage if it's dealt any damage to your opponent? This is kind of what we talked about with the rat or the mouse earlier on. It doesn't feel good to remove. It doesn't feel good to play against. It feels really good if you're the one playing it, of course. And of course, that's mono red. Smile. This card has way more downsides than upsides for any play pattern experience. The only play pattern experience that's positive is that I'm playing and it probably wins me the game.
And then you're just laughing at the person who tried to block you with a big creature or had the nerve to play a life gain deck.
Yeah, this card is like, you're talking about Up the Beanstalk's been solved too many times. Like, why the fuck did you make this card? like
what's the equation? What's the problem?
Not flaming.
What do we solve?
Like, this card is just overloaded, very overloaded. If this was printed in Hearthstone, it would be nerfed very quickly. Because it would be played in like every, depending on what class it is, but like it would be played in like every like aggressive version of it. Also, if a player's dealt damage this way, they can't gain life for the rest of the game. There are so many decks that would just collapse after dealing with that. Not a fun play pattern experience overall. Probably banned. If they banned Up the Beanstalk because it was solved, I'd imagine they have to ban this card because of its design space is so fucking horrible.
And they did. They banned Screaming Nemesis.
Okay.
This one almost made it through the year. It was banned in November along with Vivi, which tells you what they thought of that, and Proseidetic Memory. And it's because the format for the period of time since the bans in June all the way to November 10th was a 2-deck format. One of them its name is Vivi. The other one was Mono Red. What a format. Because Mono Red had one thing that the other decks just didn't have, which was it might just kill Vivi before they combo.
There you go.
That's it. That's the answer. That's the thing. Even without Monstrous Rage, Heartfire Hero, and the mouse package of the past, Mono Red was still fast enough from all the cards that they printed. But Screaming Nemesis was the biggest outlier for power. And I think what they said about it was really interesting. They said that it basically Screaming Nemesis countered the 2 most important things that you can play against Mono Red, which is life gain and large blockers, because it just invalidated both of those things, creating a situation where like nothing could really play against Mono Red. It had no natural predators because one card could just solve it if you drew it. So, banned, gone, out of there.
Yep.
I was telling Simo also that this is Gina, my wife's favorite card. It's in every deck she plays in Commander now. She loves this
why?
Card. Because so this one time she had a traumatic experience. She was playing a webcam game with 2 players who played life gain decks and weren't trying to win, so the game took a really long time, and she's impressively impatient. She was very upset.
I mean, so if you have a traumatic experience like that, I guess I understand why. That makes sense.
Yep, that's who this is for. She just wants to make those life gain decks end the damn game instead of just gain life. So
I guess that's
this
fair.
is in every deck she plays now. Screaming Nemesis.
There you go. I mean, that's a good reason. That's a good reason.
Yeah.
Silly card,
I
though.
think so. I think so. It is a wild card to print into standard at Mythic. Like, really wild. It was like $30-$40. Like, mono red was always supposed to be the affordable deck, right? It was even breaking that paradigm on. Pretty crazy.
Oh, I guess that's also a Mythic, yeah. Damn,
Yeah.
I should have looked to see if I had any of these.
Just lying around. Yeah, probably.
I opened a Dustborn box, but I don't remember what I opened because that was like a year ago at this point, right? Yeah, that was a long time.
Yep. Go check the shoe box.
All right, this town ain't big enough. Or neutral, 1 blue. Spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets a permanent you control. Turn up to 2 target non-land permanents to their owner's hand. This is an instant. This spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets a permanent you control. Okay, so I remember you telling me there was a deck that liked to bounce stuff. I don't know what the colors were. Was it blue and white? So I remember you telling me it was good. So this deck was...
You know what? We'll do a different thing with this. I'm going to show you 2 more cards, and you can tell me. Then you can try to play who banned what, when, what got banned. Okay.
Okay. Oh. Hopeless Nightmare. 1 black enchantment. When Hopeless Nightmare enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card and loses 2 life. When Hopeless Nightmare is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, scry 2. 2 neutral, 1 black, sacrifice Hopeless Nightmare. Scrying is looking at the top 2 cards of your deck, right? And like put 1 on top. I guess you can put both on top if you want to, but so why am I banning that? Okay, so hold on. Are you telling me these interact together, or are you just telling me one of these was banned and the other one wasn't?
Maybe. Yeah, you seem to recall that there was a deck that this town ain't big enough went in. I'm showing you some pieces, and you can let me know if you think anything got banned or which pieces. I got one more piece for you.
Was it black it was with?
Yeah, it was with, but most of the versions had black.
Okay, hold on. So when this enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card and loses 2 life. So the hope is that you hit the nightmare and you have this town ain't big enough, and all of a sudden they lost 4 life and they discarded 2 cards.
Cha-ching.
Okay. Storm Chase's talent. When Storm Chase's talent enters, create a 1/1 blue red otter creature token with prowess. And then when this class becomes level 2, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Oh. When you cast an instant or spell, create a 1/1 blue and red otter creature token with prowess.
I think I bodied you with this in the all 1 mana video that we made.
Yeah, I think you did. I think this... Okay. Well, so now that you show me the pieces, because it's like this town ain't big enough, bounces back Hopeless Nightmare, and then that card, then town goes in your graveyard, you use talent to get that card back, and then you can do it again, and then just force your opponent never to have an answer while you're also creating otters.
And the otters get bigger because they have prowess.
Okay, so would I rather ban this town ain't big enough, or would I rather ban Hopeless Nightmare? Because talent, there's no way they touch talent. That card doesn't seem like the issue here. Hopeless Nightmare is kind of a cringe card, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel like I wouldn't want to play against that at all. At least the town ain't big enough has some sauce to it. Like, you can do a lot with... I think Nightmare's the more egregious card here. Now, banning... Would I rather play against Hopeless Nightmare or Mono Red?
They're one and the same in my book.
But I guess Nightmare you go 1. Well, Nightmare's kind of Nightmare's such an interesting card. I don't think it's banned. I think it's just kind of a cheesy. Well, let me. How much confidence do I have in Wizards of the Coast here? Hold on.
Whoa.
So
big question.
The reason I say that is because sometimes Simo shows me a card and I go, would Konami have the mindset to actually ban this card just from a play pattern experience? And that is very iffy because sometimes it feels like they do, and sometimes it feels like they do not care at all. So if they don't care, they're not banning this card because it's not doing anything like egregious power level wise. It's just really annoying to play against. If they do care about their overall players, which it seems to be the case with Beanstalk, then they would ban it. Okay, based on the fact that they banned Beanstalk, I'll go with they ban Nightmare. I think the other 2 cards are fine.
Okay. They did ban Nightmare,
Oh my
which
god.
blew Simo's mind. So you got that one, then he didn't.
Oh my god.
They banned Hopeless Nightmare. That's right. But you did get something wrong.
No. What? They banned They didn't ban Talent, so they banned Town?
They banned This Town Ain't Big Enough. They banned the Bouncy Bounce spell.
I guess that makes sense.
Yep. They banned both of these in the June ban wave with the 7 cards on it. They both hit the same deck, which is Bounce Your Nightmare, Play Your Nightmare. I'm still surprised they chose This Town Ain't Big Enough. It was also, This Town Ain't Big Enough was also a key card in the Up the Beanstalk decks, because it's awesome with Up the Beanstalk. It draws you a card, and you can bounce Up the Beanstalk itself to draw another card if you have nothing else to bounce. But they did say that since it can bounce any non-land permanent, it made almost any permanent that needed to be on the board to be relevant and was like 3 mana or more feel unplayable when the opponents just got this This Town Ain't Big Enough going. You know, it was just, it felt like, why do I play this 3 mana 7/7 if it's never going to do anything? It's just getting bounced every turn. That felt bad too. So they said goodbye to This Town Ain't Big Enough also.
Okay, well, I can kind of relate to that because Sap and Hearthstone was like an extremely annoying card to play against, but they never like nerfed it or anything. Interesting. Okay.
I will say, I think Storm Chaser's Talent has a lot more eyes on it now than it did before. This card saw play in so many decks over the last year, but dodged all of the ban windows, and everybody was like, it is so much for 1 mana. As a 1 mana spell, it's hard pressed to find anything that gives you as much as Storm Chaser's Talent. And whether it's generating ways to create like huge mana so that then the level 2 turns into infinite loops with bounce spells, or if you're just pumping up the otters and attacking for tons of damage, there's not a lot in the format better to do on turn 1 than Storm Chaser's Talent. And it is kind of wild that it's lasted this long. And I do think people are opening up their eyes to this card might be a problem. It was, I think, the most played card at Worlds. It was up there.
Oh my god.
It has to be in like the top 3. And the 2 most played decks ran this card. So don't think it's just an innocent little otter machine. It's a problem. It's a problem. Okay.
I feel like they're not going to ban it, but we'll see.
Let's see if they banned this card.
Badger Mole Cub. Wait, they can't ban this card though. It's from Avatar.
Why not?
What do you mean why not?
They still have the emergency ban window.
Is that real?
Yep, the first 20 days after a set.
Okay. 1 neutral, 1 green. I feel like you're trolling me, but 1 neutral.
No, that's true.
When this creature enters Earthbend 1, whenever you tap a creature for mana, add an additional green. For 2/2. Whenever this creature enters Earthbend 1, okay, that seems good. Whenever you tap a creature for mana, add an additional green. So lands become creatures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that means when you attack, they tap and you get an additional mana afterwards.
No, it's whenever you tap a creature for mana. So when the land becomes a creature, it still has the ability to tap for mana. When you tap it to add that mana, you would immediately get bonus mana just for tapping it to use it.
So you're not attacking with it. You're just tapping in. You get an additional mana for tapping it. Okay. That seems good. That seems kind of disgusting, actually. If Hearthstone had an effect that said, whenever you gain mana, get double the amount, that would be played. That would be a good card, especially for 2 mana. That's a classic.
And we haven't talked about green hardly at all. We've only talked about Up the Beanstalk. Just a reminder, we have Llanowar Elves. We have a 1 mana creature that taps for mana. It doesn't have to be the Earthbent lands that tap for mana. It's any creature that taps for mana.
Okay, so like in the dream case scenario, you're going elves into this, you're getting an additional mana because you get 2 more, and then you play another cub, and then it gets even worse.
Yeah, how much? Do the math. How much is that on turn 3?
That's 3 additional mana from the elves, or 2 additional, so you get 3 for 1.
You played 2 cubs, so you have 2 lands that are turned into creatures. Each of them taps for 3 mana. So if you hit your land drop on turn 3, you have 10 mana.
That seems a bit silly. It seems a bit
10 mana casts Omniscience, Rarran.
That seems a bit silly. Okay, now the genuine question would be, is this that much of a problem that they would want to ban in 20 days? It has been 20 days since Avatar has come out, I'm guessing. It's gotta be close, if not for sure. Have people really cracked the code on this card? Probably. People theorycraft really fast. No, I listen, like, no, the problem is it creates so many non-games. In Hearthstone, this would be giga nerfed. Like, this would be like, if this is Druid, it's like anytime you gain a mana crystal or any sort of mana, you get double. Like, it'd be so nasty. You need the cards around it to support it. But
as you know, the streamer event happens about 6 days before actual arena release. The events in the streamer event were often decided by who had Cub on turn 2 into Cub on turn 3.
How much do they look at theory crafting and go, this is going to be what the meta is going to be like? Because we do theory crafting too, right, in Hearthstone, and it's like often what we think is going to be really good in the game doesn't actually end up being really good in like standard, because it's like a different environment. I guess it's like different rule sets though, so it's like not guaranteed, but I don't know. I'm gonna go with no. I feel like this card's just good, and I feel like I regret this decision, but I feel like it's good. Not banned yet. Probably on the list. It's being watched. They actually banned
the card is not banned yet.
Okay.
It's not banned yet. It's got to be on the watch list. Yeah. This was, I believe, like the second most played new card at Worlds, and it was the highest, like, most watched card going into Worlds. It's what everybody kind of came prepared to beat, because this is the part that's also interesting. Like, any green deck now is going to run this. Like, there really isn't a reason not to play this in like every freaking deck. And it's also a mythic, and it's worth like $70-$80 right now. So if you opened any,
oh my God, I opened one.
There you go.
I opened the altar for this.
Yeah.
Is it paying my mortgage?
I mean, it's like $80 probably.
So,
I don't know what your Canadian mortgage is.
Badger Mole. 63 American. What the fuck? Why is the base card worth more?
Probably because the art's really cute.
I
don't know. I can't answer these financial questions. I'm not a financial podcast.
True.
This is not financial advice, but I would sell these because I still think the odds of this getting banned someday are pretty good. The amount of non-games that exist because the opponent goes like turn 1 elf, turn 2 cub, and into cub, or way to copy cub, or way to tutor up another cub. It is really stupid, Rarran, that the primary play pattern of these decks is to use the extras mana generated by the cub to tutor for or clone another cub, telling you that those tutors that often cost significantly more mana, this would have been a good card for like 4 mana. It's stupid.
Yeah, 2 mana is a little silly. 2 mana is a little silly.
So nowadays on standard ladder, if I scoop on turn 3, it's not mono red. It's this stupid little bastard. Oh my, I don't know how my opponents have the gravity of going first and having double cub every day, but it happens every day. I'm not a salty Twitter guy, Rarran, but I have posted things online like 5th game I didn't untap for a turn 4 today. Screenshot, mile.
Yeah, it's a good card.
They were selling the alt art of this like in the store at a reduced rate, and I posted on Twitter, reminder, you don't get your gems back for cosmetics when they ban it. That's how salty I've been. That's how salty this card makes me.
That's fair. Well, it probably feels really unfair, especially if they have 2. Like, that is.
It feels incredibly unfair. And you know what? It's brought out the scumbag in all of us. Because I swear I never saw this very often in mono red. But every time they play the second cub, they also emote GG. Every time.
You have the luxury in your video game. Hearthstone apparently doesn't have the technology for this. You mute emotes from the settings.
But then there's the conflict in the content is worth it though.
No,
like
no. Listen.
The 1 in a million where you beat them after that emote is such a good
fair.
video.
Okay, you know what? That's not fair. But I'll tell you what. There is no way that one time you're gonna beat them after their emote is worth all the times that you got BM'd and still lost. There's no way. There is not. This is my genuine take about emotes in card games. There's not been one time where I've been emoted that it's been a positive experience. Not once. Everyone has an underlying reason to do it. There's sometimes people who are genuinely like, yo, like it's good to go against you, whatever they want to say, greetings. But most of the time it's BM, and I'd never want to deal with it ever again. What, CGB, please explain to me, how the fuck does Hearthstone not have the ability to put that into the settings? You could do it in the game. Like you could right click them and mute them, but why can't we just have a setting so I never have to deal with it ever again? Thank you.
I bet they have it, and it's called Hearthstone Premium, and it's only for developers right now.
I would pay money to have that feature. Like, I don't understand why they don't have this feature. It's awful. I don't care. And also, it's not like, okay, like in Magic the Gathering, it's not like you actually hear vocal sounds. Like they just pop up with a little text that goes like, good game. Bro, in Hearthstone, you're dealing with people going with like, that was like literally verbatim. That was cringe. Like, in like a goofy ass fucking voice. I'm sorry. Anyways.
Rarran, this may get you into or out of Magic Arena forever. They have voices now.
When did they add that?
Well, I'll give you 2 of the lines. One is secret tunnel.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
The other one is that's rough, buddy.
Is it like Zuko's actual voice too, or is it?
Yep.
That's pretty funny.
Yep.
That's pretty funny.
They did that.
I guess, like, you have to buy a cosmetic for that.
Yeah. Yeah, they sell that shit.
But but hold on. If you mute it in the settings, do you still hear it?
I have not. I don't think so. I think the mute works, which is really funny because somebody paid to do that. Problem solved.
You just give it the setting in the fucking menu. I don't understand. Sorry. It's actually so aggravating to me. They have that in it.
Would you use a secret tunnel? Would you buy a secret tunnel emote, Rarran, if the opponent might have muted? If they have the option to mute it. That's the thing. Okay. I'm about to go on a fucking rant. Don't you dare put me in this corner. Okay. Come on. If I'm buying a skin for the sole reason that my opponent wants to hear me emote, I'm buying it for the wrong reasons. That's just first and foremost. Second of all, if I am muting someone from the very start of the game and you have no idea that I'm doing that from the very beginning, in your mind, you're still showing me the emote and I'm hearing it. You do not know that I muted it. So it should be, regardless of how my opponent is going to feel if they bought a cosmetic, they will not know if they are muted or not. It's not like in real life I'm wearing headphones and they can see it. So therefore, it should not change the opinion of the person who buys the skin if I can just mute it from the settings if they're not aware that I'm already muting them from the very beginning of the game. Rarran, when you do your 16th emote in a row and there's still no response, you know.
Yeah, but what kind of delusional maniac is doing 16 emotes in a game? Is that somebody if the person does it once to me,
that is my opponent every day we're talking about. Thank you.
If the person does it once to me, it's like in real life. Okay, I'm gonna give you the real life example. Imagine you are sitting across from somebody at a table and they go, haha, you suck. You're gonna be like, okay. And then they're going to do it again. There's a good chance, unless there's like a competitive integrity on the line, you're just going to be like, all right, I'm not playing this. I'm leaving. Like, you wouldn't sit there and listen to this person saying it on repeat unless they're a fucking child. So why is it expected in an online version of a game, which, if we think about it from the most basic standpoint, what's the point of playing vid games? To have fun? Why would I want to involve myself with somebody who wants to emote me 16 times? Like, because hold on, this is where you expose yourself as being soft, because the reason is to show you're better than them, dude. But it doesn't. But you're falling right into my trap. You can beat them. No, you're falling into my trap though. If they're muted, beat them though. If they're muted from the very start of the game, okay, this is good versus evil. That person still gets the satisfaction of emoting me and thinking they're winning the game because they're emoting me 16 times. From my perspective, I have no idea that they're doing it and I'm just playing the game. It's a win-win for both players. Wizards of the Coast is still making money regardless because the options in their game and people are buying the emotes. Hearthstone could do the exact same thing and it wouldn't change anything. Thank you.
See, all that makes sense and all that's fine. All that's fine. Here's the problem that would be for me. Maybe you're fine with it. I don't know. Okay. The problem I'd have is I would still know in my heart I was a little bitch who couldn't handle an emoter.
Listen, you can call me a bitch all you want. I do not care. That doesn't faze me at all. Because you would be muted. I don't care. Thank you.
Magic the Gathering cards. I liked this rant. This is what we subscribed for. By the way, if you guys enjoyed this, leave a comment and subscribe. Emotes or none? Mute emotes? Do you want to be a bitch or not? Let me know in the comments.
That argument, every time I bring this up in chat, someone always says you're soft. And I say, it does not matter because I wouldn't hear your emotes. And like, you can't, there's no response to that. You can call me soft all you want. You're muted. Like, you're done.
Well, done. Good job. Yep. In his heart, he doesn't see. Some people have that thing. Some people have that shame in their heart that they weren't good enough. They couldn't go the distance. They couldn't handle a little criticism. And other people are like, I guess I just fall in the other category.
CGB, in real life, you wouldn't interact with somebody who is constantly harassing you while you're playing a card game. I'm sorry, you wouldn't.
I am on a call with you right now.
I'm not harassing you. If I
played games with you.
If our dichotomy was CGB, you're shit, I think you're awful at Magic, and I didn't say anything else to you, that's the only thing I'm responding. There's a pretty good chance we would have developed this relationship to this point. I'm pretty confident you'd be like, wow, after the first video, this guy's a fucking delusional idiot. I'm not interacting with this person. Like, you as a human being, it's not being soft. It's just not interacting with somebody that you don't want to interact with. And I think that is a completely fair thing to do, especially in a children's card game. Thank you.
when I'm playing, okay, yes, when playing a children's card game, when I'm a player in a card game, absolutely, I'm not human. I'm a content creator. Okay, that's I'm a villainous content creator. Okay.
What? So now I'm learning that you're. Wait, hold on. Now you're telling me you're the one emoting. That's what I'm understanding from this.
I don't. God, I would never. Are you kidding?
I don't know if I believe you anymore. I don't even know who you are, actually, to be honest.
No. We played together. When did I ever talk trash? When did I ever say anything inflammatory?
That is my point. You still had the satisfaction of winning. We had a very good game. Now that sensation would have been, so not sensation. That game would have been soured. That memory would have been soured if the whole time you were emoting me. If you're hitting me with, like, I don't even fucking know what the equivalent in real life would be. But you understand my point. It wouldn't have been as memorable for a lot of people. And then people would have been like, man, that guy's pretty cringe and annoying. I'm not going to lie. Like, the list memorable.
It might not have worked out well, but it was memorable.
Also, I'm going to add to this conversation. I played League of Legends for too long. Like, I still play it. I never muted anybody, ever. Because if you're writing me in text, if you're like writing me like you're fucking dog shit at this game, I'm gonna clap back because I have actually the mechanics in the game to respond in a good manner. If you're hitting me up with that was cringe as an emote in Hearthstone, what's my response? Emoting you back? Hell no. Muted. Done. I right click so fast. Thank you.
It's so sad that you just don't get to do that. Really, I feel very bad for you.
I would listen. I'd rather have voice chat in my Hearthstone game than emotes. Like, I'd rather be able to interact with my opponent using my voice than hear anything else. Because at least then I could actually clap back. There's no clapping back to emotes. It's annoying, and I don't want to deal with it. Thank you.
All right, I'll set the stage. I resolve 3 of this card. And then I just email you good game over and over. Am I A, a bad person, or B, an entertainer? You tell me.
You're talking Corey Still Cutter?
I am.
Well, here's the thing. You'd be preemptively muted in the settings. So I wouldn't know.
Dude, he roaches out immediately.
I can't. I have played Hearthstone for literally its entire lifespan. There's not been a single moment once. I can't recall one moment that I was like, wow, I'm really happy my opponent emoted me. Not once. I could think of countless times where I was like, wow, I hate that person.
I actually agree with that. I just use it in content differently. My content is 80% rage, so it's fine.
That's it, but like, it's just the fact that you guys have, it's not that like it should be mandatory. It's the fact that you guys have the option to do it. Like, why do I have to right click my opponent every single game when I could just have a preemptive setting before going into the game? Like, if I'm going to emote people anyways, why not just have it so I don't have to do it every single, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, anyway, sorry, Corey still cutter. One neutral, one red. Artifact equipment, equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has trample and haste. Flurry, whenever you cast your second spell each turn, create a 1/1 white monk creature token with prowess. You may attach this equipment to it. Equip is one neutral, one red. I believe we've already discussed this card before, CGB, and let me explain what happened. I think we both said this card's going to be very good, and it ended up being very good. And if I remember correctly, it was banned because it was very good. Thank you.
Yeah, good talk. Obviously, the content they're here for. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we read this before it even got released and was like, yeah, that's a bit good. That's a bit much.
I do remember you saying to me that it did get banned.
Yeah, it did. It sure did. This is Corey Steelcutter will always have an interesting place in Magic history as being the card that was more played than Vivi at the Pro Tour where they were both legal, and it got banned ahead of Vivi. Somehow Vivi got to live and Corey Steelcutter got to die.
It's just this is just a good card. I don't know what to say. Like, it's just good.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they print an equipment that also makes dudes, that also gives dudes abilities. That I
see this. It's funny because this brings me back to the Beanstalk thing, where it's like, I can understand that card can limit design space, but like, it's not like an inherently broken card. It's just a good card in a particular archetype that supports it. This is like, who designed this? Like, who was like, you know what, guys, this card's gonna be balanced. This is not gonna be an issue.
Yeah, it busted other formats too. It got played in much older formats where, you know, cheap and free spells are popular. It's just like, yeah, 2 mana to make endless threats that end the game. Cool. Cool. You want to talk about meaningful interaction, being able to interact with a card like Prosthetic Memory or Up the Beanstalk? Yeah, there was no way to just kill the artifact and the monk in one card. Not really.
There you go.
There were ways to temporarily get rid of them, temporarily lock them down, if you will, but no way to deal with it. And especially not at a reasonable amount of mana. It was just like, okay, I guess this is the game. Good times.
Yep. Yeah, no, exactly. I don't know. It's the whole Beanstalk thing makes me laugh.
It does. It's a funny thing. It's a very funny thing. Yeah. So let's come back to it. Did they kill the Cauldron?
Agatha's Soul Cauldron, 2 neutral. As a legendary artifact, you may spend mana as it were a mana of any color to activate abilities of creatures you control. Creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them have all activated abilities of all creature cards exiled with Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Tap this to exile target creature in the graveyard. When a creature card is exiled this way, put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature you control. Okay, obviously the interaction with Vivi is pretty obvious there. Very good.
Busted.
So the thing is, if you don't have Vivi, is this card still very pretty good? Yeah, I think this is still very good. At some point in time, this is like the Beanstalk thing again, which I'm going to keep bringing up. But this actually limits design space purely from there's so many cards you have to be scared to print if this card exists because it's too easy to abuse. So if they're listen, this is actually what it's going to be done. I think this card's very good, but I think what pushes over the edge for me, if they thought the same thing with Beanstalk, they would have done the exact same thing with Cauldron. It is too limiting in a design space to make sure that Standard's fun and innovative for the next 2 years or 3 years. I guess this card's in, so they would ban it.
All right, so it's banned.
Is it banned?
It's not banned.
Sorry.
They left the Cauldron, man.
Wow.
They left it. I'm shocked. Just waiting.
I'm shocked.
Would
you agree with what I said? Where it's like,
yeah,
at some point this card is going to be back and it's still going to be very good. And it's like, but also, you know what? I'm kind of in favor of them not banning a card like that. I only really said it because of Beanstalk, but I feel like it's cool to have these cards in the game. Because when it makes actually, I'm saying this in a Hearthstone's perspective. You guys are so screwed if this card ends up being good, because you have to wait like time. Like in Hearthstone, it's like I think it's really cool in Hearthstone when like there's a really broken interaction that they just didn't foresee, and that deck's there for like 2 weeks. And like that's a small point in time in Hearthstone's lifespan where it's like that really broken deck existed. Do you guys remember that? That was kind of fun for a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
we get it for 6 months.
Yeah, that's it.
Fun. Fun.
Like I wonder how much different Magic would be if they took like the online approach like Hearthstone did, and they just did subtle nerfs and all that stuff. I realize it wouldn't be 1-to-1, but I feel like the game would be flourishing if they did stuff like that. But I don't know. Maybe
it's so funny you just use that phrase, because I'm talking about all the bans this year. I don't know if you know this, but they released a ban update. One of their ban windows was in March of this year, and they didn't ban anything. They had Beanstalk, they had Soul Cauldron, Corey Steel Cutter wasn't out yet, Hopeless Nightmare was released, This Town Ain't Big Enough was released. That was already a deck people knew about. Like so many of these cards, Monstrous Rage and Heartfire Hero were already released and winning games way too quickly. They didn't ban anything in March, and the first sentence of the article was "Standard is flourishing," and that has become a meme in the Magic Standard community.
Yeah,
So they respond to every time something's broken, every metagame update, every like ban announcement. The response is "Standard is flourishing."
Yeah. I mean, that's
Hearthstone's
had that too.
When the attendance dropped 66% at Standard tournaments while Vivi was like the playable deck, Standard is flourishing.
Yep. Yeah. See that? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, listen, in the moment it makes sense. Hearthstone's had that too, where they make a weird saying and then people meme on them for the whole year for saying it. People still there was a quote from Frodan, which I don't, you might have met Frodan at like the Riftbound event or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But one of his quotes he has, I believe it was like in 2020, maybe just before Demon Hunter came out. It's something along the lines of like, I just saw what Hearthstone's been doing behind the scenes. If they land what they're doing, game will flourish for like the next 10 years, something along those lines. And every time Hearthstone makes a mistake, that fucking quote's brought back up.
Oh God, yeah. You know what? That there it is. Memes transcend games. They cross boundaries. They bring us together. Actually, yeah. It's funny that flourishing is such a word for this. It's a beautiful word to just brandish around in your card game meta. They kept the Cauldron. So the next time they print an activated ability that can easily be distributed to multiple creatures in one turn with an activation, that'll probably break the format again. That's nice.
You'll be fine.
That's good. Yeah, it's fine. How about this card?
All right. Abuelios. That sounds good.
I have said Abuelos Awakening.
Abuelos sounds way better than what I said, so we'll go with that. That sounds like an actual name. I don't know. I just combined Abu and Elo together. So that's, what did you say? Say it again just so I can hear it. Abuelo.
I don't know if it's right. Let me know in the comments. I don't
Awakening, X neutral mana, 3 neutral mana, and a white sorcery. Turn target artifact or non-aura enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield with X additional +1/+1 counters on it if it's a spirit creature with flying in it. It's a 1/1 spirit creature with flying in addition to its other types. Turn target artifact or non-aura enchantment card from your graveyard. So it's like 4 mana to resurrect it. And if you really want to,
as
you can add more.
as a 1/1 creature for 4, or pump mana into it and make it big.
Yeah, here's the thing, right? So it's like the resurrecting on its own is just good. The +1/+1s might be extremely relevant at some point, but obviously I need to see what other cards exist with that. But are we happy paying 4 mana to resurrect something? I feel like you showed me a 3 mana card that resurrects something. I think it's only like a creature, right?
It's like small creatures. If it's the one I'm thinking of, returns like smaller creatures like that usually cost 3 or less, I think.
Because this is nuts then. This is nuts then. Like you get, wasn't there a card you just showed me earlier? What was it? The 7 mana? That's an enchantment.
Can you scroll up and look at cards that we already talked about? Yes. Go ahead.
Does it say aura enchantment if it's an aura enchantment? Like how do I know it's a non-aura enchantment?
I would say aura in the type line.
Okay, so yeah, like that's just broken. Today. Like that's the thing you need for the big blue spell that you showed me earlier that gets your free hand.
No, say its name. Say its name.
I'm not omniscience. That is pretty good. That is the synergy that I see, right? So you just get it in your graveyard, you return it, and it's GG because you get to play that for 4 mana.
Unless they have a Soul Cauldron, then they just exile it. But that, I'm sure that's not a problem.
No, I'm not worried about that. My dream's bigger than their dream. This band.
Okay.
This has to be broken.
Ban it? Ban Abuelo's Awakening?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the card that got banned because of Omniscience. Yep.
I see through that.
You got it. Well done. Well played. I like seeing you knock them dominoes down. I like seeing you win,
Thank you.
I'm emoting a very polite, respectful, good game.
You're muted. Deflected.
Those are the banned cards of 2020. Not a record year, missing out by I think 2 cards, but that's because one of the ban cycles from the past was a land cycle, so like 5 cards basically got banned at once. This is definitely the most mechanically unique cards banned in a year of Standard ever. Okay. And 3 years Standard is flourishing, baby. It's flourishing.
God help you guys.
Standard is okay now. It's got avatar cards. Badger Mold Cub is exciting. There's another Is It deck that's the best deck in the format. Bring on 2026.
Okay, if you say so.